All right, let's talk through why would you want to zone your system. So in a house, you have a choice. You can put in a ducted system that has a return air that goes into the unit. You put ducts into each of the rooms. There are outlets in each of the rooms. So why would you want to put a zoning system over a standard system? A standard system, you need to size the unit to size the unit for the whole house. With a zoning system, you could work out what combinations of rooms you want to be able to heat or cool at the same time. So you might have a size benefit, which in some instances comes into $1 saving, because depending on what size, how big your home is, you may need to have 3-phase power installed. But let's take it back a step from there. Let's simplify this down a little bit to why even zone. So people say to me, quite one of the common questions is, why do we even zone a house? Why would I spend the extra money to get zoning? What I say to them very simply is, how many lights do you have in your home? So you might have multiple lights all through the home. The next question I ask them is, how many light switches do you have? Do you have just the one light switch in the center of the home that turns on each one of these rooms, or that turns on every room in the house? Or do you have a light switch in each of the rooms to control the light in each of those rooms? If you have a light, you wouldn't not have a light switch in each room. Because why would you not? Because there will be the cost of running them. It's inefficient. It costs the cost of running every light in the house off one switch. It's just not viable. You don't need to put lights on a room that you're not using. Why would you do so? So why do the same with your air conditioning? So you have the same system. In fact, quite often we can have a unit that is slightly smaller than the total house at once, because generally most people only live in around 70% of the home at a time. And then you think of your evolution of your home. So you buy your house, it's just you. You're one person. Which rooms might you live in? You might live in the kitchen and dining, plus the master bedroom. So that is where you live. So you find a partner. So you find a partner, so one becomes two. So you might find that you now use an extra room. So you might include the sitting. So before, if you didn't have any zones at all, you were conditioning the whole house at once, irrespective of how many rooms you're trying to use in that house. So if you were to zone it, you can turn on and off the ducts to each of the rooms that you need at a time. So now that you're two, more often than not, before you know it, two seem to turn into three. So the baby's room's now in use. So I'm sure you're going to want to turn that on. But not only do you want to be able to turn it on or off, but babies, they really like to be perfectly controlled in their temperature. So you imagine your baby, it doesn't like to get too cold at night, does it? Because otherwise you've got to rug it up, you've got to keep it warm. But if you could control the temperature in that space and you could set it and maintain a temperature set point. So imagine if we can say in that room we want it to be 22 degrees all the time. And the system, and you can now control all the different rooms. So what we can do, not only can you zone it, but we can actually put thermostats in every single room. Instead of having just your one thermostat instead of the home, we have a thermostat in every single room. So now we can control the temperature in each room. And as your family keeps growing, so do we have the ability to keep opening up rooms. So what started off as just being 1 or 2 rooms using at the start, now is using the entire house. But again, as a rule, we don't need to heat or cool the whole house at once, depending on where your lifestyle. If you do want to be in the whole house at once, no problems. We get a unit that's sized to match the whole house, and then in the zoning, and then we'll go about maintaining the temperature in each of the rooms. But as a general rule, we can control the temperature in the home, because you don't normally live. You're not normally in every single room at the same time. So quite often, in the daytime, you'll be in the living space, and at night time, you'll be in the bedroom space. Makes sense? So during the day, we can turn down the temperature, so you don't need the temperature to be so warm. At night, you're going to be turning off the living space. So then we have more capacity to go back to the bedrooms. So you can see how we can actually benefit from having reduced running costs from a slightly smaller unit, less installation costs for installing because we don't install such a big unit, and we have the full flexibility of being able to control how many rooms you want to have on, depending on the number of occupants in the house and the way you use your house and the movements of your home. So, do you have one light switch in your home to control all your lights? Or do you have a light switch for every single room? Food for thought. Talk to you soon.